What gave you the life sentence?
I'm real entertaining, huh? I was a 3-time loser. No, 3 violent felonies. I was a mandatory 3-time loser, 3 violent felonies. My first felony, I had 2 cases running concurrent. One with a bullshit robbery in the train station. We was a group of people. We was coming from stealing. Debo survived the train, got caught. The second one, we ran out of store with Shirley's and 8 Balls and shit downtown Brooklyn. I'm going to keep it 100. My fake peer, my fake OG, Curtis Vance, the one that taught us everything, wouldn't allow me to get in the car. I went to prison. I had about 5 cases open at the time. So, you know, you being young and naive, they offered me a 1 to 3, a 1.5 to 4.5. I took it. But I wound up catching more new charges in prison, and I did 5 years. I came home with the vision of wanting to be an entrepreneur, wanting to be a rapper. I created my cookie den and the vision that I have now. But I did everything that everybody else tried to do. I tried to play both sides of the fence, do the criminal life and do that. It didn't play me well. One of my so-called friends, which happened to be, he ain't my friend, associate, he's Junior Mafia, Biggie Smalls, allegedly charged me with doing a crime with him. And I got incarcerated. The second time I got incarcerated was 2 days after the Source Awards, 1995. First Source Awards at Emerson Ballroom. August 17th, I got locked up for a gun charge. I was going to do a show with the Population Clique around my way and open up for AZ, a show out here in Queens. That was my second case. And then my third case was a case out here in Queens, allegedly I was charged with that I didn't do, robbing a clothing store called Moni's on Steinway Avenue, tying the people up allegedly, getting away. I got locked up maybe a year after the crime. My co-defendant testified on me, received a 2-year sentence, and I had to advocate to get myself out.
So, when you say you didn't do the crime,
No.
Biggie, the Biggie thing, you said Biggie said that you did a crime with him?
No. And I know you listen accurately, so I'm gonna look past that one. I said the Junior Mafia member, which is Edward Jones, his nickname Bagger, original Junior Mafia member, he the one is my co-defendant, and he will point the finger at me. Not Biggie. Biggie didn't commit a crime with me.
But you know you said Biggie earlier.
No, I said a person that was with Biggie.
Well, I didn't hear you talking fast.
I'm talking, well, I'm going to slow it up because you might be thinking a little slower. I'm talking too fast, but you might be thinking too slow.
I am.
All right, I got you, bro.
I want to be able to articulate what you're saying so I can respond.
All right, so I'm going to speak more clearly.
I heard him say that. Yeah,
G-Money heard me. He on the money. That's why his name
I
G-Money. Now I'm just fucking with you, big.
He said Biggie. I'm on his side. My fault, bro.
Oh,
yeah.
Word? I didn't say that. I know what I said.
All right, cool. Let's take our time.
But I'm human. I could be wrong. I could have made an error.
So now, allegedly, they said you robbed the store in Steinway, tied people up, got away, and then you got arrested. Somebody told on you.
Accused me of a crime, yes.
Accused you of a crime. Now, you go to jail.
Yes.
Your sentence for the third crime, they gave you what?
20 to life.
20 to life.
Yes. Because like I said before, I was a mandatory persistent, meaning that I got that because I'm a 3 strikes and you out. It's an enhanced punishment.
Tell us about your jail experience.
Where you want to start?
From the beginning, because we still got some more stuff to talk about.
All right. I'm going to start in DFY.
Okay.
I used to be extremely overweight. I used to be real fat. So, of course, for my age bracket, I was big. And I always had the same mentality that I had. And apparently, I always had an anger issue. In Spofford, I did what the fuck I wanted to do. I walked around, got the cookies from the OD office whenever I wanted to. Rikers Island. And all the OGs can contest to this. 1990? No, I want to get it right. 1991. Mart 9, I blew police face off. Facts. Stuffed the razor raw dog, no homo. That's one of my claims to fame. After that, my cell, Rudolph Bethea, at the time I was under an alias named Vance. I never got my cell searched after that. When the squad come, they respect my shit. Barely all of them. This is 1991. This is 1991. Went upstate. Stood in Green, I think 4 days. They ain't like my kind in Green. I yapped something to mess with, was out of there quick. Got caught with the other 3 burners I had. I came up with 5 Gillettes. Actually, and we're going to back it up. We're going to keep it 100. I came up north December 12th, 1991 with Todd Guns, baby. The person that started the Stones. He was in my house and 2 up, but that's my little man. My little man. He tell everybody. Facts. I'm a real nigga. Like all these dudes already know. I went to Kasaki. The famous OG Lele from Queens was in Kasaki, of course. Guy Tony, GT, Kasaki, of course. The Komrad Jake, Algie, of course. I went there and turned up. There was a person from a person named Sha from Queens I had to touch over there.
Why?
Because he snuck my best friend Bob, Bob had some lavender wallies. Bob is a lowlife, original lowlife. But he's not aggressive like me. It was a cool brother named Bobby Brown from Harlem. Mm-hmm. Shy used to eat with me, actually. Shy was my man. Remember, I'm hardcore. I was in the yard under the politics. I'm with the shits. Bob gave Bobby Brown the wallies to bring back to him. You know, they porters be locked out. So I'm giving this to the porter for you could transfer it and bring it up there. Lele intercepted him. You know, Lele nuts hang. Lele's like, the OG of Queens. Lele, yo, give me them shits. What? He'll give me. Don't give a fuck who them shits is. They lavender hot top wallies. This is in '92. It's early '92. So anyway, they swiped him on the shit. Me and him had just had an argument a little while before, cause I told God Tony suck my dick in the yard. In the mess hall rather. And he like, yo, you wildin', man? Fuck out of it. Fuck you mean I'm wildin'. My gun go off. Fuck you talking about. So he wound up, and the rumor went to the streets that he thought that I snaked him. Since Shy used to eat with me, I said, fuck that nigga, sneak thief his shit. So that wasn't the case. So since my friend from the streets, before he got incarcerated, he used to come see me. The same person I'm talking about. I used to live in Philadelphia when I got incarcerated. So he went to Philadelphia, brought my clothes up and everything. So this is really, really my friend. Not just a man I know from the streets, my real friend. But he thinking that I flipped on him and snaked him and that my man sneak thieved him. So therefore we had to go to the yard and do what we had to do. So I made sure that he cut Shy. And once he cut Shy, when the politics, when Algie and all them want to, not Algie, part itself, when Lele and all them want to step up, then we could rumble, we could do whatever. This whole shit will be shut down. And that's the case. So therefore, remember, I'm a lowlife, original lowlife. I know how to steal, immaculately steal. I've been stealing all my life. I'm a thief. The biggest robbery I ever caught in the penitentiary was from a nigga from Queens. Everybody that was in Kasaki, nigga from Queens, I ain't slowing down. I caught about 3 chains, about 2 loudmouths. That's the big cassette players. He was a fly nigga too. He had about maybe 10 pairs of kicks, and I spread it to Joe. I didn't keep nothing. I'm a lowlife nigga, and I just came from state, and I ain't had no property. But I never been a bum-ass nigga. My man Bob didn't want the stuff. Bob only wanted his wallies back. So I gave all that to YL. Shout out to the car that just came home. YL, C-Real, LG, and Guy in them. I let them keep the shit. I didn't want it. My man Bob didn't want it. I did that to show him that, nigga, but to show my friend I didn't snake him.
Got it.
That was my first bid. It ain't finished. Hold up. I went from there to Southport. Once I went to Southport, Southport kind of the big league. It ain't no kind of, it is. Kasaki's adolescent jail. So therefore, the people that I know in there is from Rikers Island, or they're a few years younger than us and maybe been up north maybe 2 or 3 years before us. So isn't that intimidating? But once I stepped foot in Clinton, that's a different dynamics. It looked like Mad Max and all that shit. You know what I mean? The courts, it's hard to describe. You got to be in Clinton to see it. Before, when it was skiing, I was there when it was still skiing. We could still ice skate. I was there when it was sand there. It was no blacktop. You feel what I'm saying? I went to Southport about 3 times. It was marvelous over there. and I'm saying that in an ignoronic sense. At the time, I realized this. I went to jail young, so I never had anything of real value. So I wasn't really missing nothing. Once I was in prison, all I was focused on was being Rudolph. And being me is not letting nobody play me, keeping it 100. And that's it. I didn't care about no time. I never made a parole board, my first board. Never in my life. I never had supervision. I did everything. I maxed out. Now, my first board, one of my older comrades came to Clinton. This is my second time in Clinton. I'm about to max out. I'm about to go home over 5 years. He got Nubians started. Nubians is an organization. I don't want to say it's a gang. It's not a gang. It's an organization that was formed amongst the blacks. It's similar to Bloods. The Nubians started in Clinton. The OGs or the founders of the Nubians was my big homies. They taught me stuff, and the rest of my peers. But let's say I can remember off the top of my head, my Komrad London from Staten Island. Shout out to Komrad. My Komrad Carlos. Myself, and maybe a few other people. We didn't take the oath. We didn't technically become Nubians. But my Komrad Ron Du, the Komrad Cash, you know what I mean, everybody else, they took the oath. But remind you, we still together every day. We still eat. We still doing everything together. I don't see it no difference. Personally, to myself, I never needed a piece of paper or no title to say that you my man or this person my man. If you my man, you my man. I know what it is already. Nobody got to tell me nothing. I don't need no kite. I don't need none of that. This is the way I personally move. So we didn't sign on the dotted line. Anyhow, when my Komrad came to the facility, my Komrad was new upstate. So therefore, he used to walk the yard with me and my peers because, we was with the shits. He got into one of my peers, which was a Nubian. His name was Uptown. And they worked on the machine together, the dish machine. One person pitch, one person takes out in a mess hall. Think of an industrial setting. The dude Uptown, they got into a verbal altercation, and Uptown told him to suck his dick. So now my Komrad is a murderer in the streets, and he's older than me. So I always told him, like, yo, nigga, tell you, X, Y, So he spit out right then and there and blew the dude. So the dude went to IPC, which is involuntary protective custody. Word went out to the rest of the homies and all that happened, and they found out who my man from the streets was. Now, his siblings is OGs in the penal system. They all connected, so he got a pass. Allegedly, he's supposed to get a pass. The younger people, which is my age, and at the time I'm about 19, I believe. About 19 at the time. So the people that's my age, they don't know who the older people is. So they still bickering and, side talking. So me and my Komrad, Ron Du, in London, we work in the mess hall together. The people our age that was still trying to keep stuff up, we were sending them out. Now, I had lost the wreck because of an incident with the Komrad Ron Du and Carlos having a fight in the yard with a Spanish brother. So the older individuals kept saying, if RudyLo get his wreck back, if he go to the yard, he gonna start some big shit. Because I was popular amongst the people, the people of my peers, the young people in the jail. One of the reasons why I was popular with the young people in the jail because of my older brother Money. He's not my physical family, but my grandma raised him and he grew up around my family. I knew him all my life. He get the bag, he a move maker. So every weekend he made sure I was good. So long as I'm good, anybody I'm with is good. You feel what I'm saying? So we never need it for nothing. If it's a festival going on, anything, all I gotta do is go to him. Money ain't an object. So like I said, I never needed for nothing. When the stuff did pop off, it's an OG name, and I can say this now because it was kind of faggot niggas putting shit in the game, so I can say this.
Can't use that word.
All right, excuse me. Corny people instigating stuff. I'm going to say R.I.P. to the OG Nate Lewis. Now, Nate Lewis was on my gallery. He was a port on my gallery. That was somebody I looked up tremendously. When I say I looked up to, I mean, anytime anything happened with me and my peers, when I went back to my gallery, or if not that night, if he not locked out the next morning, I'm calling Nate to my cell. Or he pulling up and he's going to rationalize with me. I never saw Nate as a person that abuses authority. I don't see him as one of them people. I consider him as a man. His brother is Frank Lewis. I don't know if y'all familiar with Frank Lewis. They call him Mr. New York. He did about 25 years in the feds. He did his last 7 in New York. God bless the dead. Chaz came and picked him up from Green Haven. He's a famous bank robber. They have someone, a famous drug lord, Supreme Magnetic from Fort Greene. That used to be with Eric B. and them. His brother name is Rap, Baby Pa. My co-defendant, the person that hit me, Nate Lewis, is his co-defendant. When him and Nate grew up, most of the people in their peers wanted to be drug dealers like Supreme Magnetic. Them two chose to be like Frank Lewis, which was Nate Lewis' brother, which was bank robbers and stick-up people. When the incident happened with my comrade, when he cut the dude uptown, like I said, I'm telling Nate everything as it goes along. The day I got my rec back, we in work in the mess hall. In the back of the mess hall, there's a little day room, maybe the size of this. And we were in there. We on break, actually, because, this feeding isn't going on. It was one of our comrades in long-term key lock. He sent, and we could send food through the trays. We sent messages and food through the trays. We in the mess hall. So he sent the kite to the comrade, telling him, like, yo, they gonna hit you today. Rudy and doing them get their rec back. Instead of him bringing it to me, because I would have went to Nate or somebody else, the beef allegedly supposed to have been deaded. So he went to a dude named Black, which was a dependent person, a crackhead, and a deceiving person. Black is Nate, man from the streets. So, you're going to believe what your man say from the streets on face value.
Right.
When they try to hit my man again inside the mess hall that day, when he went to them with the kite, he blew the dude up again, ran straight to the bubble, outside the day room to the police bubble, and checked in. There's another person named Rambo from Bushwick. He tried to hit one of my old timers named Turbo that was with us. He was older than us, but he official old timer. So long story short, we got locked in there and cut through the chase. The jail, since everything was happening inside the mess hall, when they locked, it was 1 to 9 back then. You go to the yard from 1 o'clock in the afternoon to 9 o'clock at night. And you could choose to go to the mess hall from the yard. Everybody that was at work, none of us supposed to came out. Our cells on deadlock for investigative purposes because incidents happened in mess hall, and they supposed to tame it like cancer in the body, but they opened my cell by mistake. Since they tried to hit my man from New York, I'm egotistical, I had pride and ego, I'm young and stupid, I still went to the yard, even though some of my peers were telling me not to go to the yard. Now, the individual money I'm talking about, he came to the yard with me. Walking to the yard, he trying to tell me, go back, don't do this, yo, I'm young, my pride, I don't want to hear nothing. Upon the entry of the yard, it was a young Jamaican dude that's my age, or was about my age too, named Paul, never forget his name. Nate called him first. As soon as he stepped on the sand, where the blacktop appear at now, he asked to spin, Nate hit him. He took the 100-yard dash, he ran right in. Nate asked me to spin. Now remind you, emphasis added, Nate, my big homie. Remember, Nate from my gallery. I'm never nervous or shook. I'm not never thinking Nate gonna do anything to me. That's my big homie. But they got a little soldier dude. He not a little anymore. He got a big lawsuit now. He, kind of famous now, but I don't give a fuck. Shabaka. He know who I am. He was walking with us. So while he walking with us, I'm paying attention to Shabaka. That's like I'll speak with y'all. When I speak with most men, I look at you with eye contact. Like I said before, especially with Nate being one of my big homies, of course I'm looking at him with eye contact when I'm walking, talking to him. So I recall vividly when we get to about the entry of the courts, to go up the courts on the sand, he hit me.
Where?
In my neck. I only got hit one time ever in my life, hit me in my neck. So when I fell, it's like a semi-crowd behind us because, the yard is just coming out. And once you come out the yard, you take a few steps, not a few steps, maybe 10 steps. It's another little gate and that go up to the courts where you cook at. So it happened right in front of there. So police rushed over there. No, he boogied, he got away. They saw me. You got a problem? I'm good, ain't I? I'm fell, I'm good. So they ain't really know nothing happened. So I go sit on the other end of the yard. There's another hill where you used to ski down where the basketball court at. I sat down there. So my old timer came to me and told me, yo, you hit. I didn't know I was hit. I thought he maybe stole on me. Cause I'm upset. So old timer come tell me, yo, you hit. I had a white champion hood on. So, it's blood. So I'm like, all right. Stood there. Now remind you, we comrades, we peoples. So my gun is on their court. Remember, all this is eternal. So they sent a few missiles at me, people, nondescript people that's not them. So of course they never approached me. They walked by me, an individual named S came there. I never really got a chance to meet him in person. But he was in the yard that day, Big S. He had just pulled up in Clinton. And he's cool with Money. So when I got cut, Money cried. I'm not gonna call him soft. He cried because I understood this back then. He cried because he see me as a family member. He cried because he know his worth. And he was working on his appeal at the time and getting to the bag. So he knew that would have disrupted stuff on a large scale. So he just called my aunt for me. He called my grandparents for me and let them know what happened. So once S told, he didn't give an order, but S let them know, like, listen, the little nigga ain't doing nothing. He official. Yo, Nate, if you ain't gonna give him a gun, go down there and gun to gun, leave him alone. So long story short, I survived in the yard till 9 o'clock. Once I went back, the authorities already knew, and I went to IPC. When I went to IPC, of course, next day, shout out to the Komrad Carlos. He came out, he hit Rambo. Two more incidents happened and the jail shut down. When the jail shut down, it was a PK draft. My Komrad, Terrence Rice, the one I said is Money, he went to Auburn. Now, I have a big homie from my block that I look up to. His name is Eric Stevens, Terminator. Bodyguard Big Daddy Kane. I always had correspondence with him. When I was in prison, we allowed to write 5 people. You're allowed to write 5 people in prison. You got to leave the envelope open. So, the counselors and all that, they may read it or whatever. Now, like I said, Money like my family. Money always was popular and he always got to the bag. He grew up with Mike Tyson and Jesus. Like I say, his name ain't Money for nothing. At one point, my man Terminator wasn't making money like Money, but he was always a gangster and popular. Money used to come on my aunt block, which is E block in the court building. So like I said, from the streets, I can feel, right now I'm an adult, I can say it was some jealousy. I personally feel I can't say it was a fact, but I know this much. Money got into an incident in Attica in 92. 92, because he came to Clinton from there, with an OG named Nils. I'm quite sure y'all probably heard the name Nils before. Nils got a brother named Hicks and a brother named Igard. When they blew trial in 87, they blew the judges. They gangsters, they notorious. Money got in an incident with Nils in Attica, and he got cut straight down here. Nothing happened that day. Nothing happened. So since nothing happened that day, a large population of the cream of the crop of prison, the people that really move the prisons, the real shakers, a lot of them didn't respect Money anymore. And my Komrad E, God bless the dead, was one of them. But I always advocated for him, and I always let him know, like, I wouldn't have nothing right now if it wasn't for Money. My family wasn't sending me shit. Money took care of me. Financially, he took care of me. So when I got hit and Money cried and didn't do nothing, my man's held a personal grudge. Now, we're going to go back to this. Stuff that's out of my control or out of my era. I'm younger, but I was in the streets already. A large incident happened around my area. I'm from Prospect. I went to school in 55 and 271. I'm from down the hill, but like I said, I went to school up the hill. My family lived up the hill. So, of course, I know who the small bunch is. Donnie Smallwood, the Wild Bunch. I know who they is.
Mm-hmm.
Let me interject with this. I went to school out here. Big Daddy's, next to the pizza store on Jamaica Avenue. That's my ATD school because I got kicked out of the schools in Brooklyn. I was bad. I got kicked out of boys and girls, the old boys and girls, for having guns. I went to school out here. And by going to school out here and by being in DFY, I respect it and I know the history of Fat Cat and all of them. So I had the honor and the privilege of reading Cop Shot. And lo and behold, people from my area was in Cop Shot, which is the Wild Bunch, which is Nuke. So I was always familiar with them. So now, fast forward, like I say, when my comrade, he had a life sentence, Terminator. He got a reversal. He went down, came back up, got in an incident in, I believe, Mid-Orange or Otisville, one or the other. They in the same hub with a Spanish brother. He went to Southport, wound up in Elmira, and then wound up in Auburn. But let me back up for a minute. When I was speaking about Cop Shot, when I spoke about the Wild Bunch and all that, it was another OG from around my way. Like I say, I'm kind of out of my league at the time. Remember, I'm a teenager. I'm not on their level. I can never pump fake. Quarterfield allegedly kidnapped Donnie Smallwood nephew, or son, which was my age. Mm-hmm. And allegedly, one of my big homies, David Coley, Mac from my building, allegedly participated in it. I remember when Stink from 430 shot Mac in the ass. Mac used to be a church boy. He nothing like Terminator. But once he got shot in the ass, he changed quickly. His gun started going off. So I remember when he got incarcerated, of course he had it rough, or he had a little rough. Him and Ant Malik got it on the island. Him and Nuke got it on. But my man Terminator was a jail nigga like me. This wasn't his first bid. He was already in jail already. Prior to that. Now also to my understanding, due to him being a prior bid and due to my recent conversation with Nuke and with a few other people, I came to understand and know that when Komrad came home on his first bid, I guess because he was respected in the neighborhood and because of who he was, Nuke took him shopping. He embraced him. I remember when the 73rd Precinct was first made, the new one, not the one inside Howard Projects. That was one of the contracts that Nuke had before he got incarcerated. So once, like I said, that incident happened, Mac went to prison. My comrade went to prison. Now, when my comrade first came to prison, of course, they had static. It was going on. He hit Malik, which his aunt, my comrade, Terminator hit him.
Malik that was on our show.
Yeah, Malik that say that he's Nuke brother, which he's not Nuke brother, he's Nuke co-defendant and his crimey. They grew up together.
He hit Malik with the bleach and cut him.
Yeah, he hit Malik.
Okay.
Malik didn't want in his Sing Sing. He folded like a beach chair. No, I'm saying it. I talked to Nuke already. I'm saying it. This is what this platform is for. And I'm saying it in the most respectful sense. Now, we're going to go on.
Can we be respectful telling these stories?
I am respectful. That is respectful.
Folded like a beach chair. All right.
That's extremely respectful. They don't want me to tell the real truth. And I spoke to them. I'm not going to tell the real truth. That's the most respectful way I can say it. And I respect your platform to the utmost.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I play with black and white. So if they want me to say the other thing, I will say that. But I want to be professional.
We talking about Malik here.
We talking about Malik. We talking about Nuke. We talking about the whole situation. The past make the present make the future. We ain't going to play games and deal with one thing. Malik is a piece of the puzzle. The real puzzle is Nuke.
Nuke is the real puzzle. Okay.
All right, then. That's a co-defendant. He's Robin. And that's Batman. It's a difference. Like Mace and Puff Daddy.
Got it.
You understand. You agree with that, don't you?
I agree with that.
All right, brother. I know. I said this thing before. I really don't like gangsters and hard people that much no more. Like Stacy's my OG, like So B, like that's the big homie. Mm-hmm. But I like people like you more now. Like people that's extremely mad intelligent and street savvy.
You also stated just now, to pick back up, that we don't want you to get the black and white. You want to be as respectful. You already spoke about it. You said Nuke is Batman, Malik is Robin. Now, I don't know. What I heard is that Nuke is older.
Or the older and the most popular. Let's put it like that. He the older and the most popular.
Okay. I wasn't around back in the days. I know I wasn't around back then to verify, confirm, or deny, but I do know a lot of people do know Nuke. Yes. People know Malik as well, but people know Nuke. That's where I'll keep it at. Okay? And you also stated that there was a situation, he didn't want any smoke. There was a situation that happened. You said he folded like a beach chair.
Yes, emphasis added. Now,
Yo.
with me conversing with the OG Nuke, I don't know why you're laughing. It's not amusing. People died over this, man.
People did die.
No,
but your terminology.
My terminology is accepted. I talk to Nuke like this.
Your terminology.
So why would I talk to you any other way?
You're not supposed to. But your terminology makes me smile.
I get it from you.
Continue.
I like you, kid. Right? Malik informed me that there's an OG I always brag about named Born True. He owned Black Caesar Management. Mm-hmm. He spoke to Born True, and when Terminator was in Sing Sing, I was in Clinton, like 92. And Born True informed him that it was dead. All that shit is dead. So, Nuke informed me that when the Komrad Ice ran into him in Comstock in 92, they got into an incident. I know Ice tried to, whatever you want, they fought. They both went to Key Lock. They both came out of Key Lock. They both got into an altercation again. Ice came to Southport. I believe like 5 years. I'm going to fast forward to about, that was 92. I'm going to fast forward to about 95. I spoke to one of my peers from my building, me my age. He fell at Auburn with Nuke. So, you know, the buildings is rivalries. So, no, it's about 93, 94. So when he fell in there, he approached Nuke, let Nuke know who he was. And Nuke informed him the same thing. Now, that individual happened to be Born True nephew. The OG dude that told him a few years before that, I spoke to everybody, y'all, all that shit is dead. He spoke to Dahu and he informed Dahu of in some the same thing. You know what I mean? He offered Dahu, if you want to come in, you want to shake out, you need to be an entrepreneur inside the facility or whatever you need to do, or athletically or whatever. I'm paraphrasing. It's open to you. He humbly declined. Once 95 came, like I said, when the thing happened with me the end of 94. It was like November or something like that. I went home March 3rd, 1995 for the box. It happened like September, October when I got hit. It was cold. Once Car fell at Auburn, it was different. Now, when Terminator fell in the spot, to my understanding, of course, the same thing came up again. Do we have an issue? Do we got to shake out, et cetera, et cetera? Nuke let him know again. No, that shit ain't about nothing. This supposed to have been dead from way back from what Born True said we using Sing Sing. Got into the incident with Ice. Now, I told him personally myself, Ice is the Komrad, but he untamable. Meaning that he hot-headed. And I don't think only a certain amount of people he really respect or you can rationalize with him to get him to understand and not to do so-and-so, so-and-so. Nuke believed that the Komrad sent him. Nah. Ice do that off of impulse, like anybody supposed to do, because if that's your Komrad and your enemy falling, your enemy is my enemy. I don't got to wait for a kite. I shouldn't have to wait for a kite.
This is when Nuke got cut.
Yes. Okay. This is when the Komrad did the 5 years. So, you want to read between the lines, but we're going to leave that there. Right? Now, turn around, right? Nuke went to court. Now, like I say, Terminator, Eric Stevens, the Komrad, pulled up. Nuke said he offered him mi casa si casa. I'm working on my case. I'm trying to get to the town. You going home. We get home. If you do have a problem with me, we can shake out or we can resolve it now. If not, I don't want no problems. So allegedly it was confirmed that everything's over with. Now, like I told you, we got to go back to Terrence Rice. That's money. Money was there when I got hit. When Nuke went to court, remember Nuke and Money is comrades. They friends. Nuke sincerely loved Money and vice versa. Nuke let him hold the Cuban. Now this is a Cuban you wear in the streets. Like, I believe about the same size he got on now. Maybe might have been bigger. But he got a Cuban like my co-defendant Ralph used to wear, Cuban with a lock. The Komrad Brandon, Komrad Terminator, they robbed Money. Now, I can't say this is a fact because I didn't get this information from my man E. But from people that was in the facility, allegedly, this is what happened. Money was setting my Komrad E out. Most people see it as friendly extortion, right? But when Rome pulled up, Rome is an OG from Bushwick, another individual that sincerely loves Money. Most people don't like Money. They deal with him because of the materialistic stuff he get and because of the popularity of who he is. So when Rome pulled up, Money allegedly told E and them like, yo, I can't hit y'all no more. I can't carry y'all no more, the Komrad here. And that didn't sit well with them. You feel what I'm saying? So they plotted, they schemed, and they booked him.
For Nuke's chain.
For Nuke chain. When Nuke came back, Nuke wanted his chain back, of course, like anybody would. Yo, let me get that back. Nuke told me himself, so I can't say allegedly. He told me that E said, I'm not giving you the chain back.
That's true.
If you want the chain back, tell him to buy you another one. Nuke told me out his own mouth, since all the time he did in jail, since all the alleged cases that he was charged with, right? He was tired of black on black crime, tired on the black and black stuff. He's working on his case. He won his freedom. He offered E when he came here to stuff his squash. If you want to shake out, you want to shake out. He left it as that. Now, let me back up real quick before I can clarify something. When I was younger, when I was in Clinton with Money, when I got hit, and it was a few other incidents before that. Bush, Derek Hamilton, Top, and other people like that was in Clinton with us, they used to always say Money was pussy. He this, he that. I talked to Money a lot. Money wasn't pussy. He just knew when to choose his battles. Now, he taught me this. I can say it now, it's mad years later. Money used to come up to visit with, let's say, maybe an O, a bud. That O is only for the facility. That O is for me. Not me like I'm a gangster member. I'm his little man. He giving me the O for me and my little man to eat for the whole weekend in the yard. And whoever pull up in the facility that needs something, one of his peers, he sent them to me to get. I'm talking about food-wise and all that. So all the stuff I got, he might, send a message to me, my man pulled up here in so-and-so cell, give him a bag of And, I'm going to follow protocol. But that pound of bud, that O ain't nothing. He might come back with 10 Grizzies. 10 Grizzies is 10,000. So you might have somebody like, I'm not even going to say no names. I ain't going to start now, but you might have somebody that want to approach Money. Yo, boy, let me get right. They might go back to their peers. Yeah, that nigga set it out. He know what it is. But guess what? He probably gave him 3 gel bags of weed. That's like a nickel in the streets. $5. And he just made 10,000. Who's stupid? Now, when I was young, I still used to be like, man, fuck that shit. I'm going to the yard, fuck that shit. But as I got older and as I got more mature, I can look back now and say, I know he not pussy. And he done put in work since then. So I said that to say this. When I was talking about Nuke just now, when Nuke chose to let it slide, that don't make him pussy. So I want to clarify that. That don't make him pussy. Now, to my understanding, he clarified, and other people told me, when the incident first happened, like you said, when he came back, when he asked for his chain back, he didn't push nothing. He didn't want to push nothing. But I guess through ignorance, through him being who he is, because, he's somebody, my man Terminator being somebody, but the dissatisfied or the opposite people in the population wasn't rooting for Nuke no more. Let me back up. It was Nuke facility when my man E pulled up.
That's true. I heard that.
No, it's a fact. He was there first. He get the bag. He's athletic. It was his facility. He could have took matters in his own hand and took control of the situation from day one. But he didn't. And he told me to my face that he didn't because, one, Born True said it was dead. Two, he's working on his case. And three, he's tired of being on the opposite end of the accusations of black on black crime.
Facts. I heard this.
Now, the other peers in the facility, the other gangsters in the facility that's of equal stature of them two, wasn't riding for Nuke. He was counting them out. But he said he still didn't care. Like, I guess, no, he's too old to fall victim to peer pressure. Therefore, heard an old-timer, a Spanish old-timer, gave him a jump-off for his own protection. He couldn't get to his weapon itself. He said he got his gun. He went to program. He stood in his cell for 5 days.
13.
13?
13 days.
13 days. I believe him. He looked at me in my face as a man and told me he didn't want to do nothing. They gave him a gun. He went to his program. You got to go to your program or you're going to go to Key Lock forever. Anybody that been in prison know that. He went to his program. My comrade pulled up at his program, which was the gym, tried to bleach him, and Hawk spit in his face. So, I don't know any man whatsoever that could take any one of them. We're going to back up for a minute. Nuke told me this to my face. He said it on a live recording with you.
Yes.
When y'all was speaking about the issue with Abel's sister Tish.
Yes.
The comrade, cousin that Nuke ran into around the Komrad way in Dean at a cookout.
Yes.
Damn, this shit sound ignorant, man, but I felt kind of good. I really wanted to come up here because I don't care if you dead or alive. If you my friend, you my comrade, I'm gonna represent you to the end. I'm sincere. I didn't like the light that my comrade was held in the first 2 interviews. I didn't feel he was held in the correct way. The second time when Nuke had the conversation with you, I can digest that. I can go with that. That's can leave me content, even if I'm not happy. It's enough. And I advocated that to my comrade's family already. And this is what Nuke pointed out in your interview. This is what he pointed out to me personally. This is what I'm going to point out to E-family and to the listeners. I came up here in the beginning with the sole purpose to show that my comrade was a gangster or he was a G. But he also was the aggressor. But with him being a G, his name was Terminator, like Nuke said. He was never soft. Now, we all know, due to popular demand, due to Cop Shot and other publications and things like that, we know some of the things that Nuke was alleged of doing, or some of the things he was accused of doing. But E was of equal stature. And when I say, like, he got busy, man. But sometimes when you force something, or sometimes when you on the opposite end, this how the game goes. You end up on the wrong side of the stick, like you lost. Not saying that you're supposed to lose, but that's how it's gonna be him or it's gonna be him. And he got the short end of the stick. Maybe if he wasn't going so hard, perhaps that wouldn't have been the case. I feel responsible, or I feel partly responsible, because of this incident that happened with me in Clinton with money. When I first came home, I was a fake ass rapper from day one, from my first bid. Money was my financer from prison. He was financing me from prison. I was mad at him for a long time. When I went back for my second bid, that's when I found out everything happened over him. I went to the funeral. I know Nuke killed E, but I was always assuming it derived from the stuff from the streets.
Can I say something real quick? So, real quick, Nuke got the best of E in that exchange.
Yes. He got the best.
Yeah.
They both went the gun.
Yeah, went the gun. Yeah,
I heard
Nuke
he got the
that.
best. In addition to, I believe, like Komrad Duke and a few other people that was in the facility. Most people that was there believe if they wouldn't have left E under the bleachers, he would have lived. He wouldn't have bled to death. But we can't expect Nuke to do that because he got to try to get away. But if somebody else, I guess, because I think they didn't find him until after the count or something like that.
Yeah, I heard.
So, but I'm not gonna front. And I told my comrade, Nuke told me to my face, he didn't want to kill. No, he didn't want to do that. But emphasis added, he wanted to paralyze him. And he stated that he wanted to paralyze him because E is dangerous, like he's dangerous. And he older, and just like me or the average warrior would think, I ain't got no time to be dancing with you doing this, that, and the third. If I said, I humbly raise the white flag, I don't want no drama, and you still transcend against me, then it's only right you got to do what you got to do.
Because E was going home 2 months from then.
Yes, E had 25 to life, and it was cut down to a 4 to 12. He had that time in.
Yes.
So that's like the worst case scenario. He could have just went home.
Yeah. A lot of his family, baby moms, people send me messages. My assistant read them, and they were kind of upset because they felt that I shined a light on Nuke.
No.
And allow me to express this because I definitely want to say I spoke to my team, I spoke to my moms, and I can't tell anybody how to feel about losing a family member. And it's unfortunate that Terminator had to lose his life. When I speak to Nuke is a friend of mine, and I call him a friend because of the passion and what we talk about, and I see the passion, I see the regret, for having to go that far because they did kidnap his brother. The beef was supposed to be squashed, you know what I mean? And because the people that kidnapped his brother, that's who E was cool with, Yeah.
Comrades.
Yeah, comrades. And when Nuke talked to me about it, we talked private before it ever got public, before the lady approached him at the barbecue, he told me private. And then somebody sent me a long message that was there and said, yo, we didn't know Terminator was going to do that to Money. Money is I got a long message in my DM.
No, Money's a beautiful person.
Yeah, we didn't know he's going to do that. Terminator is a guy that acts on his own. We didn't know Terminator was going to do that. We was all together. And then, the people did count Nuke out. Nuke was in there. And the thing is to the family is that they wrote me, and I do feel bad because I spoke to my mom about it. I spoke to my family about it. And it's like, I feel bad because somebody lost their lives, but it's like, it's no buts. Somebody lost their life. You can't tell them how to feel. At the same time, I think that when Nuke say you guys act like he was a saint, I can understand what Nuke is saying because Terminator lost his life, but it's like Nuke is some type of big bad wolf. That's how the image is portrayed of him before. That's what I heard about him even from jail dudes.
I understand that in totality. Mm-hmm. And I explained that to my comrade Shitty, his brother Sean. Mm-hmm. I explained it to Kai. And I'm a mature adult now. And I'm sitting here, and I hate to admit it, but like I explained earlier, that part made me proud, and that's fucked up. But that part made me proud. All I really wanted was my man to be respected like a G.
Understood.
Now, he is respected like a G. But if I put my intelligent cap on, which I've been using lately, that's the only way I'm able to survive, it was really wrong to do. He had 2 months to go home. Nobody never in life can say Nuke is soft. It's impossible for you to say a person of his history or the allegations that they allege that he done did for him to be soft and make it this far in life.
Understood.
Now, I'm not saying you tough on everybody. He not soft. Never, might not never. You feel what I'm saying? So for a person to push that, you got to be ready to go the distance.
Understood.
And like I said, I converse with him face to face. So besides my personal life, my personal, my chronicles and things of that nature, that was the main reason why I wanted to come up here to this platform.
To say that, to shed light on Terminator E and put some respect on his name.
No, I didn't have to come up here to do that because by y'all phone conversation, I feel y'all phone conversation done that.
Yes.